The diversity of bacteria and yeast in sourdough starter help to make bread nutritious and delicious. But now that we know how amazing sourdough is, how can we get some? Sourdough starter is incredibly easy to make. All it takes is flour, water, and time. Think of the starter as a microbial garden. The flour is like soil loaded with nutrients, and different flours are like different soil types with different nutrients that help bacteria grow. Flours are ground from grain, which are the seeds of plants. The outer layer is called bran and contains fiber and also microbes from the environment. The inner layer of the seed is called the germ and is mostly protein. This is the part of the seed that will grow into a new plant. The middle layer is called the endosperm and is made of starch. Whole grain flours are made from all three layers, but white flour is made of mostly endosperm, so that means it is loaded with starch. We have instructions on our website for how to make a starter in a 1 quart wide mouth glass jar. But these instructions are readily adaptable for whatever size jar you have. For example, today I'll be demonstrating using a 1 pint jar, so kind of a half batch recipe. So all you need are equal parts of flour and water. So I'm going to be using rye flour today. So the first thing you want to do is label your jar with what type of flour you're testing. And then you put in rye flour. So for a 1 pint jar, we're going to start with a half cup of flour. We're going to pour out half a cup of water, add that to the jar, and stir it all up. My house is on city water, so I've let this water sit out overnight. That's because cities often treat their water with chlorine. Now, chlorine is really helpful for controlling the growth of microbes, like preventing the growth of specific microbes that might be pathogens and make you sick. However, chlorine also kills all of the beneficial microbes that could make a difference to your sourdough. So what we can do is take this tap water, sit it out overnight. That enables the chlorine to evaporate, and then we use that dechlorinated water that's sat out overnight, and that's what we use in our sourdough starters. So now we have kind of a soupy, sloppy mixture of flour and water, and that'll kind of gel up and rise overnight as those microbes move in and start to utilize the nutrients in the flour. Instead of putting the metal lid back on the jar, you're going to use a piece of paper towel and a rubber band, and you're good to go. Now, if you're also completing the Sourdough for Science activity online, then in order to collect data, you're also going to want to draw a line at the height of your starter today. This is day 0 for 0 days of growth. And another thing, in order to help you to monitor the activity of the microbes in your starter, is use a ruler, measure a 1 centimeter square. By drawing a 1 centimeter square, that's going to be your window into the world of microbes. So every day you'll also be able to look in that window and count the number of bubbles that the bacteria and yeast are producing in this flour water mixture. In the next video, we'll come back, see how this starter has grown, and talk about how you can maintain your starter and bake with it.